Hello everyone. I am making some Jamaican oxtails. I have here my meat that is already marinated and seasoned, and I just got this out of the refrigerator. I let it marinate for about 3 hours. Here you have jerk. I'm sorry, I want to keep saying jerk, but here we have the marinated oxtails, which consist of course, the oxtails and all of the seasoning, salt, pepper. I also have in here some allspice. I have some garlic powder. Also, I have some Worcestershire sauce, some soy sauce, and let's see what else. For the vegetables, I have red and green bell peppers. I have shallots. I have minced garlic, fresh garlic. I have thyme, fresh sprigs of thyme. And I have browning seasoning sauce. So that's what gives it its delicious color. And so now I am about to start to brown these. I am also going to be cooking these on, I'm going to be browning them first, which is essentially called braising. I'm going to be braising the oxtails first, and then I'm going to transfer the oxtails and all of the rest of the seasoning into this Instapot of sorts. It's a crock pot. It has multiple settings, and the setting I'm going to be using today is going to be the meat stew setting, and I am going to put it on high for the pressure, so it's going to pressure cook, and it's only going to take about 45 minutes from the time that I hit start. So here I have my pans that are essentially oiled. I have two pans that I'm going to be using because I have a lot of oxtail here. So I'm going to be turning that rear down just a little bit. And here what I have is I have a beef broth mixture that I made out of the Lipton onion soup, also beef bouillon, garlic, and garlic powder, minced garlic and garlic powder. Once I get the oxtails all nice brown and seasoned, I am going to be adding them to the Instapot. And instead of water, most people use water. I'm not going to use water today. I'm going to use this beef broth for extra flavor. So I'm going to start off by putting my oxtails in the pan to brown. I'm going to turn that heat down because I feel like the heat is up much too high on that bottom back there in the back. But I am adding the oxtail now to the pan. These are going to sear on both sides. They're going to basically braise and brown on both sides. And once they're done doing that, I will add them to, I'm sorry, they will be added to the slow cooker. Just so you guys can see what I'm doing. I can fit one more nice size oxtail in this pan. I have two pans that I'm using because of the amount of oxtails that I have. So that's one pan, and those are going to get a nice brown braise on both sides. And I'm going to be Take that out of there. As you can see, I am not adding the vegetables. I am taking the oxtail only and putting them in a pan because the vegetable will go in the crock pot when it's time to pressure cook these. Those will go in the crock pot along with the broth and cook in the crock pot. So no need to put those there will be a need to put those in the pan right now because it will just burn, and we don't want anything burnt. Braised but not burnt. So as you can see, I'm adding the oxtails to the pan and getting them ready for a nice pretty brown coat. And I try to use non-stick pans so that nothing sticks to the pan. That's usually not fun, but you do want a nice braise on these, so you have to invest in good pans to do so. It's looking as if I'm going to have to do a third batch. I was hoping I wouldn't, but there are quite a few oxtails in here, so now if you look over here, that's what a nice braise look like. So while those are going over there, got a vegetable that got caught up in there. So I have a couple of more oxtails down in here that I am going to try and get over here in this pan. I'm trying to get better with the camera, but sometimes, you know, gotta deal with what you got. I don't have a cameraman right now. My cameraman is in his room playing video games. So I probably got room for maybe one more oxtail in that pan. Trying to find a nice medium size, not too big, not too small, fit right in there, and there we are. So while that's happening in this pan, I am going to rotate these on the other side in this pan, and I'm going to get the camera in there so you can see just how pretty of a braise those are getting on them. Pretty much what you want. You don't want them to be burnt, but you do want a nice coat on those. So in the meantime, while those are braising, I will definitely keep these things going for about 20 minutes on 10 on both sides. So 10 minutes on both sides for each. I want to give that a quick stir, the broth mixture a quick stir. And in the meantime, with this meal, I'm also making seasoned cabbage as well as steamed rice. with some fried plantains and some festival bread. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you all how to get this from braised to the pressure cooker. Also to the pressure cooker, once I get these to the pressure cooker, I am also going to add some butter beans into the mixture. So this is a Jamaican stewed oxtail with butter bean. It's very popular in Jamaica, and at any Jamaican restaurant you'll find that the oxtails are cooked in this fashion. This is my habanero, aka Scotch bonnet, that I'm going to add also to the oxtail mixture. So while these are getting a nice pretty glaze on them, or braise shall I say, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so good. I am going to add some rice to my rice cooker, and I have several different kinds of rice down here, but my favorite for this meal is going to be just your regular long grain rice. I'm going to do a regular long grain rice, and I'm going to do it in the rice cooker so that that can go ahead and start cooking up, because the pressure cooker is going to allow me to cook this meal. Oh boy, my nails. The pressure cooker is going to allow me to cook this meal fairly quicker than it would normally take. Anybody that has cooked oxtails before know that oxtails take at least 3 to 4 hours to cook, sometimes even 5, depending on just how slow you want to cook them. I'm going to go ahead and check in on these. Sometimes you have to flip them more than once, because you're trying to get that nice, delicious braise on them. And if you can see what I'm doing, I'm just checking to see. I turned the heat down on this pan because it has a tendency of getting really hot, and I didn't want to burn them, but I'm going to turn it up just a tad so that it can get the color that I want on them. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I'm going to stop my video here, and I will come back either with another video to show you guys the finished product once I've gotten everything braised and transferred over to the pressure cooker.